Bubba's back live. We went up and looked up the Finland border with Russia. Finland border with Russia. We got feedback.
Yeah, yeah, I always do. I have to mute it. Okay, that should be done. That should be muted. Let's see. Rumble's muted too.
I see another taco inbound very shortly.
We we got to remember to remind folks about tonight and tomorrow morning that SpaceX booster is going to crash into the moon.
Oh, nice.
And I think if you have a backyard telescope, you might be able to see it.
Yay, more debris on the moon.
Yep. Supposed to make like a 85 foot wide crater in a flash.
Well, hopefully it don't send nothing into orbit and at us.
I
Any
hope
rock
so.
or anything.
Mm-hmm. It very well could send. Well, it's going to send a lot of dust and debris out. Hopefully, it'll just be small stuff so that it'll burn up if it comes to the earth. But
YouTube.
anyway, people with a backyard telescope, it might be an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I've got a little small 4-inch reflector Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope that has a camera attached to it that pipes it into a laptop on my back porch. So I can sit on my back porch with my son, and it's all aligned, and it will track the moon and stuff.
Well,
And we'll just sit there and watch it or record it for ourselves.
Put it into share your screen on Discord, and we'll stream it.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
I'm really would love to. If we could get enough members. I could get enough saved up from the members for donations through Coffee Club. I'd like to get a little telescope. They make some USB ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get all kinds that are remote controlled and everything, and it just streams, by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It just puts it right into your computer screen.
Dwarf Lab has a nice little. It's a little mini smart telescope, and it's $419.
Yeah, the one I have is a Meade EXS 125. It's a 4-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain, and it's on a fork mount. And it has all the guiding motors and everything. And it comes with the camera. It came with the camera. It's like a 2 gigabyte color camera that fits right into the eyepiece, and it pipes it right into software on your. It comes with the software. It pipes it right into your computer.
Yeah.
So you can sit in the warm. You can set your telescope out in your backyard or wherever where it's cold, and then it pipes it in. You can sit in your warm back porch or whatever, and just watch it and guide it on the computer screen.
See, that's what I'm wanting to do. They've got some pretty neat ones, but we need some coffee money, and if we could do that, especially on these clear nights, I'd go out and we could do an astronomy stream. AFMS, you need to take this link right here. Let me go grab it. Go over here, sign up on Coffee Club for the monthly coffee membership. And once you have signed up on Coffee Club, for the $5 a month membership, you will find the membership link to Coffee Discord underneath the membership tab on the channel homepage. I'll show you right here. I'll show you how to get this. I need to stop that. We're going to come over here and pull up Coffee. But yep, go over here to the coffee club. I'm going to show you here.
While you're doing that, I'll be right back. I got to go to the men's room.
Okay. Come over here to the coffee. Let's go to the page. Here's the coffee page. You'll come down here and become a member. $5 a month. It's right here. Of course, we've got higher levels that just help support us. And then once you get signed up there, come over here to post tab. And then you will come down through here and find the one that says Discord link. For me, it's on the second page. Discord link right here. Click on that and click on that link, and it will take you over and join the Discord server. Also, by joining the Discord server, you will be getting access to our roundtables that we have started doing on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There is a link that goes out in the All Call channel on Discord to the roundtables. What you do, it's through Jitsi. You come in and you click that link in the Discord, and it brings you into the roundtables. Now, everybody's welcome to talk. But there is a chat to where you can just chat like you do on Rumble. We've started doing these that way everybody can come in, voice their opinion. It's pretty neat. Everybody that is doing it is really enjoying it. But yep, go over there to the coffee club. You will come to the channel homepage. There's also a membership tab. You can just click on the membership tab. Become a member here. There's other tiers of $10 a month, 25, 35, 45, 100. The 45 one gets you access to my personal DMs on Discord, and the $100 one gets you my personal phone number. The only thing I ask, if you do the $100 one and get my personal phone number, is to not text me or call me between the hours of about 9 o'clock to about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You actually don't call me during that hours, but you are welcome to text me. And if you are going to call me, please text me ahead of time. But we're looking for you over there on the coffee club, and that will get you access to the Discord. Since the okay, yeah, yeah, I haven't seen you, so sorry about that. Let's see here. Let me get this all set up. Pin message, Etton's pinned. Hang on a minute. I have screwed up. Let me redo that. Delete this message because it pulled up and put the 1213 in it. So that link was probably invalid. Alright, there you go. I'm sure this link right here will work. Now. It's working now. So you're good to go right there. How is everyone today? But yeah, I'm if we can get a enough members to where I can afford to do this, I would absolutely love to have one of these. I've wanted one of these for years, these USB telescopes. We've got a new one started, Anthony. We have done the restart for the news. As it news at news streams. But yeah, I would absolutely love to get one of these.
I'm back.
Here's these telescopes that I'm looking at. See this one right here? I kind of like the way this one is. You got it's got 4,000 plus objects built in to where you can just click on one and it'll take you around and look at it. It's $400 for it. You've got solar system objects, deep sky objects. You've got three modes, which is stargazing, scenery, and solar system. It's got filters for city light polluted areas. Um,
You know, for many, many years, I was an amateur astronomer. Back in the days when you had to mount real life film
mm-hmm.
cameras on your telescopes
Yeah.
and to take deep sky astrophotographs. And, you know, you had to spend hours and hours of help sitting there and guiding the telescope precisely. You know, the motors work pretty well, but they're not precise enough to do astrophotography.
Uh huh.
Um, so I used to do that a long time ago. So I'm real familiar with all this sort of stuff. But lately, now it's made a lot easier because they have all of these CMOS cameras that attach to them, and you don't have to use film. Actually, there's free software that you can get for your telescope where you just set up your camera so that it takes, you don't even have to have it guided. You can just take like a 3 or 400 millimeter telephoto lens on your camera and just put it on a regular tripod and set it up so that it will take like 200 1 second
See?
snapshots of the sky. And then there's software online that's free that
Yeah.
will um, put layers upon layers of those
Mm-hmm.
images together and make absolutely beautiful deep sky photographs.
Yeah. See what I'm showing you on screen right now? This is a eyepiece that you can get for a telescope for $99.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have the
I
telescope.
generally go for mine. I generally go with a 40 millimeter eyepiece.
Yeah.
That's about the right field of view
Mm-hmm.
for observing deep sky objects.
But here's what I'm
For
wanting is one of
planetary things, you need like a 8 or 10 millimeter eyepiece.
yeah. Here's what I'm wanting right here though. It's a
Yep,
smart
yep, that's real
telescope.
similar to the one that came with my telescope.
Well, you're seeing a second what I'm wanting. It's a little. It's about as big as you can pick it up in your hand. You just go out and flop it down and
A lot of people have the misconception that you need a high magnification on a telescope to observe deep sky objects,
mm-hmm.
like the Messier objects. But that's not true. Magnification is not the important thing. The important thing is you want a larger mirror or larger
Yeah.
objects. You know, you want a light bucket to collect as many
Mm-hmm.
photons as possible.
You see what
But
I'm showing
actually,
right now, don't you?
a 200 millimeter or 300 millimeter telephoto lens works just perfect.
Yeah. You see what I've got on there right now? That's what I want.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen those. I've looked into those a lot.
It's got the, you just click on what you want to look at and then it'll pan around and look at it. You don't have to go hunting
Right,
for it or.
right. There's even places out in New Mexico and Arizona that are telescope farms.
Mm-hmm.
You can ship your telescope there, and it's
Yeah.
all controlled by connections to the internet.
Yeah.
So you can be sitting in your home in Ohio or in New York or wherever, and your
Mm-hmm.
telescope's out in Arizona,
Yeah.
and you can control it from there over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have nice dark skies, no light pollution.
Well, this has got lenses for it to filter out that light pollution. This
Yeah,
smart one
I've
does.
worked with those filters before, those H alpha filters, but the problem with them is they cut down a lot of the photons that
Well,
end up getting onto the cameras.
it's not a filter; it's a built-in setting on it.
Right, but it still ends up being a filter because
Yeah.
it has to filter out certain wavelengths that cause light pollutions. And that ends up ultimately causing fewer photons to impact the CMOS on your cameras. So, I mean, if you live in a light polluted area, um, it's very helpful. But if you can get your telescope into a dark sky, that's a lot better than using one of those filters. And for a lot of objects like the moon and the planets and that sort of thing, they're plenty bright enough. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about dark skies.
Here's, this is one I'm really looking at. It's 419. It's a dwarf mini smart telescope. Um,
If you do a Google search on MEAD, MEADE, MEAD EXS or EXS 125, that'll be the picture. You'll see a picture of the one that I have.
yeah. But I'm gonna do some more research in it. But like I said, if we can get enough coffee club members and stuff, that'd be something that we can start doing on clear nights. That'd be kind of
Yep,
fun.
for the members.
We can go in and track satellites and everything in the world.
Way back before the internet and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all that stuff, I spent many hours all bundled up out in freezing cold weather doing astrophotography.
Mm-hmm.
I have a collection of photographs and things that I took myself. I used to run a small astronomy club when I was living in Indianapolis. And we would have star parties where a bunch of us would get together into a dark sky location, usually at a state park somewhere. And we'd all have our telescopes out there. We'd all stand around and yak and talk about stuff, and while we were guiding our telescopes.
Get an
Now they
EM
come with
coming in.
built-in guiders and everything,
Mm-hmm.
that focus on a specific guide star, and it will keep that guide star right within just a few arc seconds of the whole frame that you're viewing, and you don't even have to touch it.
Yep.
We can also do, you can get solar masks that go over the end of the telescope, so you can do solar observations and look at the prominences and the sunspots and all that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
Yep. So that's one of my big things that I want to do with it. But anyway, you got any news? AFMS, have a good one. Thank you, AMFS. You could have done a month one. It's the same price.
Are you talking to me, Jeremy?
No, I was talking to AFMS. He became a member.
Hey, SMA 5859. Is that our old friend, SMA from way back?
Yeah, it's SMA.
Hey, how you doing, SMA? Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a long time.
I don't see that you came through there, AFMS, I meant.
Howdy, George.
Yep, I see you there. Awesome.
How is your new endeavor working out, SMA? I want you to know we all wish you the best of luck with your new YouTube stream. If I got the right SMA there.
How is everyone today? I'd say they will be okay there, George.
Yeah, it's getting really bad there in Spokane. I think I saw last night that there were like 200 or 300 houses that have already been destroyed by the fires there.
Checking.
Hey, Anthony, good to see you, brother. Yeah, they ran a tube down Miss P's nose with a camera attached to the end so they could get a look at her voice box. And they didn't see anything remarkable, no inflammation. All her blood work has come back normal, so the doctors are stumped. They don't know why she's losing her voice. But we're going to keep at it and see what else we can do to figure out what's going on with it. I still think it has something to do with those surgeries she had and all of that metal she had put in her neck and her spine.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't lose her voice until right after those surgeries.
Several people have been arrested after storming the U.S. Army's Osan Air Base in South Korea, chanting anti-U.S. slogans.
You saw that Indian cargo ship was sunk off the coast of
Mm-hmm.
Yemen in the Red Sea, very close to the city of Hodeidah, from a Houthi attack, it appears like. And of course, we are what is it now, Jermax? About the seventh ultimatum now we've had from Mr. Trump?
Yep, we've got a new one out.
Yep, just this morning.
And our U.S. Treasury Secretary came on CNBC saying, "We've seen Trump last week threaten what would have been the largest military campaign since World War II against the Iranians. And now, because of that, we're in talks with the Iranians." Folks, there is no talks. Even the
The
countries over there
IRGC.
was supposed to be helping with the talks are saying there is no talks. And
Yep.
members of this administration is even saying there is no talks. So
it's just a total big waste of time, unless they're doing something else with that time.
Scott, our U.S. Treasury Secretary, says the Hormuz Strait is to fully reopen within hours or tomorrow. This is not true. It's just not true. And if there is a deal, I want to. But Iran playing with Oman. This is what Oman and Iran is talking about. It's going to grant Iran total authority over all inbound traffic for the Strait of Hormuz. And a senior Iranian official told Reuters that additionally, under the proposed agreement, Oman would clear outbound vessels only after notifying Iranian officials. So even if this deal right here with Oman, between Iran and Oman, goes through, which has nothing to do with the U.S., it still don't open nothing up. All it is going to line the pockets of Iran and Oman.
Most likely.
And
I don't know, is Oman going to charge too?
Yes.
Hmm.
And I've also got some more kind of worrying news. The U.S. Army has now used up virtually all of its stockpile of highly accurate long-range missiles.
Yeah, as I was reading earlier, that even includes the ATACMS too.
It's everything. The exact munition's critical in any conflict with China. See, folks, like I was saying, this was all a plan by China and Russia, the BRICS nations, to get the U.S. to expel everything we've got, including most of its Army tactical missile systems, the ATACMS, and precision strike missiles, PRSMs, with sources saying the stockpile is now empty. We've also used 65%. Between February and July, 65% of Patriot interceptors have been expended, and the number of THAAD missile interceptors in the U.S. stockpiles is at 38% lower than at the start of the war. We've also burned through 50% of the global supply of Tomahawks. So we've used virtually all of the TACMs and PRSMs, And we've used 50% of the global supply of Tomahawks, 65% or more of the FAD systems. I'm sorry, of Patriot interceptors, and 38% lower than the start of the war of FAD systems. I, I don't know what their plan is here. You can't just go make a bunch of these overnight.
Nope. And I think Trump was trying to leverage something, if he could, the War Powers Act, trying to get the military industrial complex to really start ramping up production.
Yeah, but you can't just ramp up production overnight.
Yeah,
Either.
no.
Also, we've got a U-2 has left out of California last night and flew to Anchorage and landed. As you can see it right here on the screen, this is in Anchorage. It's a U-2. It flew out of California last night. I would say that it's going to go over here to the Pacific Theater. Let's see if there's anything interesting up.
Here's one. The Syrian Ministry of Defense has just raised their military readiness to the highest level. 2 days ago, Damascus alerted Baghdad of popular mobilization forces activity along the Syria-Iraq border. Syrian authorities also warned that any attack from Iraqi-based militia groups on Syria will be met with retaliation. Meanwhile, Reuters is reporting that the U.S. has used virtually all of its precision strike missiles, as you were just saying.
Yep.
Stockpiles on ATACMS and precision strike missiles are almost fully depleted.
Interesting. This RC-135 here, Maverick 01, left out of Omaha, flew up to Milwaukee, done. It didn't do no touch and goes there. Yeah, it did. Done a few little touch and goes. Then flew up here around Lake Superior and done some very, very, very low passes up here. And if I ain't bad mistaken, that 6240-129 is a sniffer. So we're doing some testing with it. And I've never seen this plane before. It's a Gulfstream. It looks like to me they have outfitted it with something and they're doing some testing up here off the coast of Boston. Looks like maybe some kind of ISR testing. Let's see here. GF. N108 EW. Ah, interesting. It's a flying test bed. So they're testing some stuff. It's a research and flying test bed. So they're testing out some new plug-ons, some new devices. see if we had any E6s up. You got to watch these E6s. Sometimes they will pop up as a generic plane, which is a little teeny tiny looking aircraft. And I'm not seeing any.
Yeah. Trump keeps making threats. The world has now stopped flinching. The
Yep.
president's bombast has ceased to rattle world leaders who have seen him fenced in by the courts, rebuffed by Congress, and strung along by Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So the world's not paying attention to what he says anymore.
Nope. But constant lies and the constant buffs that doesn't lead to nothing has quit working. You can only do that for so long. Example, China and Putin. You can only do that so long.
Yep.
Before everybody's just like
crying wolf too many times.
Yep. Before everybody's like, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Just
I mean,
empty threat.
That meme about tacos, that is now worldwide.
Yep. Yep, you can only do that for so long. You can only taco for so long. Before the tacos quit working and it makes you go to the bathroom. With the explosive diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. Talking about explosive diarrhea, I have a story about that. Let me find it here real quick. It's about that cyclospora that was causing explosive diarrhea. Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. There's some new information about that now. Oh, gosh. Let me find it.
Well, you're looking for that. I covered this a little bit yesterday, folks. Prepare for Dieselgeddon. The Shell CEO has warned that there's not enough diesel to go around for much longer.
It's 1 o'clock.
Refineries are being pushed beyond 100% capacity. Seriously. By delaying critical maintenance. This raises the risk of explosions. Sometimes are fatal. The kabooms are not a maintenance strategy. It also means that starting soon, a lot of refineries in the U.S. are going to have to be taken offline to catch up on necessary maintenance, and that's going to throw another disruption into the diesel supply chain.
Yeah, the CEO of, what was that, Shell CEO? Has saying that the diesel is just
That's
about
what I
gone.
just read out. The Shell CEO has just warned. Yeah, we're going to run out of diesel, folks. Oh, Iran rejects. Here, I'm going to send this to you and let you read it after you get done.
All right, while you're doing
diarrhea.
that, I'll read that one report. Michigan reports the first 2 U.S. deaths related to the diarrhea-causing parasite. 2 people have died in the cyclospora outbreak in Michigan, state health officials announced on Monday. The first deaths confirmed in the U.S. related to the microscopic parasite.
Interesting. Here's that. Like I said, you don't have to read who it's from.
Let's see. Hormuz letter. Breaking. Iran rejects U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent's and Trump's claim that the Strait of Hormuz will open tomorrow under a new deal, saying Iran, Oman, Hormuz negotiations held without U.S. participation are instead aimed at establishing an intermediate corridor that will halt. I don't see the rest of it. Hang on.
Yep. Iran has rejected the U.S. Secretary and Trump's claim that the Strait of Hormuz will open tomorrow, saying the Iran negotiations are being held without the United States. So.
The agreement with Oman would grant Iran total sovereign authority over all inbound maritime traffic, with Oman's limited role being to clear the outbound vessels, but only after notifying Iranian officials, ensuring Iran retains visibility and the option to intervene. Not a good deal.
Nope.
Since we were talking about telescopes earlier, here's a story for you guys. Don't forget, very late tonight, tomorrow morning, on Wednesday, August 5th at about 2:35 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the upper stage of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket will slam into the moon, blasting out a crater about 89 feet wide. The rocket body has been loitering lazily above Earth for more than 18 months, and it was jolted out of an unremarkable senescence and put on a kamikaze course for the moon. They think what did this is solar wind, light from the sun essentially had begun pushing against this lower stage of the Falcon 9 rocket and was moving it out of high Earth orbit. And now it's on a trajectory to impact the moon early this morning and or late tonight and early Wednesday morning. It's going to be on the sunlit side facing Earth, on the crescent side near the crater Einstein. And for those who have backyard telescopes and even big binoculars, you might be able to catch a glimpse of the explosion and the dust plume that will be thrown up into maybe even into orbit around the moon. Some of the particles may even come toward Earth. So we may get a light show from some of this debris too. So if you guys want to get out with your telescopes or binoculars and take a look at the moon real early tomorrow morning, you might see a little flash on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Well, Trump's acting attorney general, Todd, is preparing to roll back abortion access in every state and halt the shipments of abortion pills. Abortion's wrong, folks. But there's a big but in here. If it's being done because somebody was, you know what, or being done because it's threatening the health of the mother,
Mm.
is a little
Hey,
bit different.
George, I don't. So they've arrested that person now. Is that right? The last I saw, they were in search of a person for sparking the fires in Spokane, but they hadn't caught him yet. So, are you saying that they have now arrested him?
But what I'm getting at is if it's done because somebody was, you know what, or it's threatening the life of the mother, it needs to be okay. You can't just ban it completely. And also, the attorney general does not have jurisdiction over the states.
No, that it's where the decision is exactly where it needs to be in the hands of the individual states, not at the
Yes.
federal level.
So technically, they cannot do this legally, what he's trying to do.
No, I don't think so.
And also, like I said, if somebody was, you know what, or it's threatening the life of the mother, there needs to be an exemption for it. Or
Rape and incest.
I was trying to keep from saying that on here.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Well,
reason I was saying you know what.
Yeah, I see.
And also, if there is issues with the fetus.
Thank you, George and Ducks. Yep, they've arrested that guy.
But we've had some news story come out about mothers not making it because in certain states because they couldn't get a you know what.
They have to travel to a different state if they want to.
Yep. But there needs to be an exemption, like I said, and the attorney general cannot go in and tell the states what to do. The states tell themselves what to do. So this is a major overreach of power. But we see that a lot in this administration. Major overreach of power.
Now, here's a couple stories for you, dear Max. A tiger shark was caught off of Massachusetts. Could be sign of warming waters. Nate Ruette and his brother Nelson went shark fishing on Cape Cod, hoping for an exciting catch, but were shocked when they reeled it in. A tropical species of shark with a reputation for eating anything it can swallow. The brothers' longtime sport fishermen who live in Massachusetts released a juvenile tiger shark in late July after catching it from a beach. The 5-foot shark is more common in warmer southern waters such as the Caribbean, and scientists said its appearance off of Falmouth, Washington is an indicator of warming seas. Let me say it. I want to say it for you, dear Max. Welcome to the GSM.
So, folks, Worshin's secret takeover of Japan's central bank of us help trying to get Japan's currency and bond market saved has just made everything 10 times worse. It's backfired. Like I said, they're not going to be able to do it this time like they've done in the past. You can only intervene and artificially propped up the market so many times before it just doesn't work anymore.
Here's another story related to what I was just saying. Ships cannot move and power plants are shut down as drought saps Europe's rivers. A prolonged dry spell is posing a challenge to the region's already stressed economy. In Romania, authorities set off an explosion beside a river in a bid to divert the much needed water to a power plant, and in Bulgaria, almost 200 vacationers had to be evacuated from a stranded cruise ship. In Germany, its industrial heartlands and companies are curbing production and struggling to ship their goods because of the rivers drying up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Once again, I'll say it for you. Welcome to the GSM.
Iran is demanding a 7% transit fee on our commercial vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz, while the United States is seeking to negotiate the rate down to 5%. Russian and Chinese vessels are going to be exempt. Imagine that. Folks, we had a free passage of the Strait of Hormuz before this big cluster, you know what, started. A 7% transit fee. That's massive, folks. It's a massive amount of money per ship. And you know what's all it's going to do? It's cause goods to cost that much more. And also, in the proposed agreement that Iran and Oman has presented, it would also be to the lifting of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. This is just, I don't know.
Here's another story about the heat wave that's going on around the world right now. 3 lions at a Tokyo zoo have died from heat stroke. 3 female lions died within 5 days of each other, despite the zookeeper's efforts to shelter them from Japan's blistering summer temperatures. Of course, they want to blame it on global warming, but we think we know different. Would you agree with that, dear Max?
I agree.
London records the first dry month in over 150 years. No rain for a whole month. That's very, very unusual
We're at.
for London.
Yep. Some areas will dry up. Some areas will get warmer. Some areas will get wetter. Some areas are going to see massive flooding every other day. It'll snow in areas that it hasn't snowed in hundreds of years. Just like the Seminole Indians down in Miami saying that white rain. If it would, if the moisture would have been in place this past year, it would have snowed in Cuba.
Oh, here's that story, Judge George and Ducks. Arson suspect arrested as Spokane battles devastating wildfires. A man from Spokane, Washington was arrested and charged with setting one of the 3 devastating wildfires that are burning through the region. Together, the fires have destroyed at least 700 buildings and forced 67,000 people to evacuate. Around the state's second largest city. Authorities have stated a possible cause, haven't stated a possible cause for the 2 other fires that are raging. Long lines and missed flights, and travel chaos follows the EU's new passport controls. The biometric system for non-EU citizens is causing long delays and short tempers at airports. Officials say the rocky rollout will get better, though, and will improve security. So the EU has new passport controls using a biometric system that they scan. How long is it going to be till we see that here? Facial recognition and biometric scans. Maybe to travel state to state.
We'll send you this and let you read it. It's about Taiwan. You have to click on it there and get it all. Taiwan is openly signaling that the military partnership with the U.S. is deeper than previously known.
The move appears aimed at sending a clear message to Beijing that defense ties between Taipei and Washington can continue to strengthen. According to the Wall Street Journal, Taiwan is increasingly speaking publicly about previously undisclosed U.S. military training programs and joint exercises and exchange initiatives that have remained largely out of the spotlight until now.
It ain't gonna be worth a crap if we have no missiles.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, did you want to share with folks that story you sent me last night? I think it was, Duramax. Um, Let me see, what was that? That was that Chinese guy that was saying that it was a trap uh,
Oh,
being laid
you
to try
can
to get American soldiers to go to Pickaxe Mountain.
you can read it if you want to, because I don't know where it
Okay.
was at here.
Yeah, I think I can find it. Let me find that real fast.
I think it's in the all call channel.
Yeah, you're right. That's where it was. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Let me click on it. Duramax and I both found this very interesting. Did Beijing design a trap to pull U.S. troops into a ground war with Iran? Former Peking University professor Yuan Hongbing claims an insider revealed a CCP plan to make Pickaxe Mountain appear to hold large amounts of nuclear material and lure American forces into battle. He alleges that Beijing has provided Iran with military equipment and promised additional support if U.S. troops enter Iran. He also says that there are only two ways for the United States to achieve final victory, and the current military pressure and negotiations will not work. Um, let's see. Somewhere here in this report, I also read that Iran was sending a lot of shoulder-fired Stinger missiles to Iran for when they can lure American soldiers and special forces to attack um, Pickaxe Mountain. We thought that was a pretty interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was reported by Jennifer Zingripo, something or other, Inconvenient Truths. You want to put a link to that in chat, Duramax, or do you want me to?
Go ahead and drop one because I don't have it
All right,
available.
here you go, folks. Take a read. We found it very interesting. Oops, sorry, wrong one.
I'm gonna remove that one
Yeah,
till you
please
can get
do.
the link there.
Okay, here we go. Here's a link to that story, folks.
Mm.
Trump has discussed ousting Jeanine Pirro now after the reflecting pool U turn. The
Yeah.
U.S. Attorney in D.C. has longtime ally of the President of the United States has dropped criminal charges over damage to the pool. Trump has discussed ousting Janine Pirro, the U.S. Attorney General for the District of Columbia, according to people familiar with the matter, after Pirro's office contradicted the president's contention that the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool was damaged by vandals.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just trying to get rid of her now.
It's the reflecting pool issues was because of the contractor.
Yeah, it says
it may look like cuts to him, but it was the union between each of the squares.
Right. The president has criticized Pirro in public and in private since her office Friday dropped the case against three-time Olympian it charged with damaging the reflecting pool. In a court filing, Pirro's office wrote that new information shows the problem has plagued the newly renovated pool were caused by botched installation and vandalism, not vandalism.
Botched installation. Got EAM coming in.
He's just making more and more enemies.
Yep. Europe is running out of water. Something has happened across parts of southeastern Europe that doesn't look real.
Yeah, I was just talking about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the photo now. Welcome to the GSM, folks.
I knew that was coming. Here's a story about ICE. ICE is scouring social media to unmask its critics, raising free speech concerns. Civil rights lawyers and former DHS staffers see it differently and say that the system infringes upon free speech after ICE is weaponizing social media against its critics. The agency says its surveillance program is focused on threats to its agents. The civil rights lawyers say that it's infringing upon everyone's free speech on social media.
September 2024, Scott's Miracle-Gro contributes $500,000 to Trump's super PAC. July of 2025, Trump's EPA minister meets with the CEO of a partner of Scott's Miracle-Gro. February 2026, Trump signs an order to boost production of glyphosate, the toxic chemical in Roundup that Scott's Miracle-Gro distributes. June 2026, Scott's Miracle-Gro pledges $1 million to repair the White House lawn after Trump's UFC arena was removed. August 2026, Trump shouts out Scott's Miracle-Gro saying, "I have to give them a plug because they did the White House for free." August 2026, Scott's Miracle-Gro stock prices surged following Trump's shout-out. Polish fighters have intercepted a Russian reconnaissance aircraft over the Baltic Sea. A pair of Polish fighters intercepted a Russian IL-20M reconnaissance aircraft over the Baltic Sea. This is reported by the Minister of National Defense of Poland. This is already the second such incident in the past 2 days. The day before, Polish Air Force also intercepted the same aircraft over the Baltic, approximately 60 kilometers from Libya. This Russia is getting more and more bold. Also, today, there was an air alert for Romania where Russian drones was really, really close to the border of Romania. At least if I can't find this. Romania issued an RO alert and monitored a group of aerial targets detected near its river border with Ukraine. Romanian authorities later confirmed the targets did not enter Romanian airspace and disappeared from radar. So that was very, very close to Romania again.
It seems that Russia is going to escalate its war in Ukraine massively, as indications point to what includes a mobilization, a potential invasion from the north of Ukraine to open up a whole new front line and increased missile attacks from there on cities in Ukraine. So, looks like Russia is opening up a new front from the north.
Yep, we knew that was coming.
An FBI agent has stolen over $1 million in cryptocurrency from Russia after reportedly taking actions into his own hands after the agency was failing to deal with certain accounts. And then he self-reported himself to the FBI.
Because he said he was tired of FBI not doing anything.
Right.
We got EAMs coming in. Boom, boom, one after another right now. But anyway, Trump says he knows Europe better than anybody, better than the people who run it. Two things that are killing Europe. Number one is immigration, and number two is energy. Here's a little 2-minute video of him saying, nobody knows more than this and that than I do. Here, listen to this, folks.
Nobody knows this stuff better than me. Nobody knows more about taxes than I do, and income than I do. Nobody knows more about construction than I do. Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do. I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do. Nobody knows more about technology than me. In the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure. I know the H-1B, I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me. I know more about ISIS than the generals do, Billy. I understand things. I comprehend very well. Okay? Better than, I think, almost anybody. Wait, who knew the other side of the picture better than me? I knew it. Nobody knows more about environmental impact. I understand the power of Facebook. Maybe better than I know more about renewables than any human being on Earth. Nobody knows more about coals than me. I know more about courts than any human being on Earth. I know more about steelworkers than anybody that's ever run for office. I know more about Nobody knows more about banks than I do. Nobody knows more about trade than me. Well, obviously, he doesn't know about nuclear weapons. I know more about nuclear weapons than he'll ever know. I understand the tax laws better than almost anyone. He knows more about lawsuits than I do. I'm the king. I know more about offense and defense than they will ever understand. Nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation. I understand money better than anybody. I understand the system better than you, but nobody knows more about debt than I do. Nobody knows.
All right, that goes on for another minute and a half. I just don't know, folks.
Hey, you and I have spoken in the past about, we bought into some of that SpaceX at its IPO.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not giving out any kind of financial advice here, folks. Just you, Boob. You should know we're not giving out financial advice. I'm just reading a story. Someone on Wall Street thinks that SpaceX is going to triple this week.
Well,
take this one with a big grain of salt. What's that?
It's up 7% today.
For weeks, the most popular contract among SpaceX option bulls has been the $330 strike call contract. The further the stock drops, the cheaper contracts become, the less likely it pays off, and seemingly, against conventional wisdom, the more popular it's gotten. Right now, there are more than 450,000 open positions on call at the strike expiring Friday, at least 7 times as many as the next most popular contract, according to CNBC analysis. At first glance, heavy volume in a call contract with slim chances of success could easily be dismissed as the aggregate result of thousands of retail traders taking cheap shots at upside in a stock that's arguably been the household story of the summer. After all, SpaceX traded billions of dollars in options immediately right after its IPO in June. But in this case, particularly after Monday's action, it looks more likely to be a big institution that's being behind the buying. More specifically, one whose traders think the fat chance contracts offer a good way to hedge the risk that Elon Musk's exploration and satellite business suddenly returns to its glory after a 40% plus sell-off since its high. SpaceX reports its first earning results since its June IPO Tuesday after the bell. That's today.
Yep, and it's up almost 8% right now.
So I'm glad I held on to it.
Mm-hmm.
My son, too, he also bought into it.
Wow. Energy Transfer had a good quarter here, but dividend ended up being 59 cents per share.
Hey, Retro, that's interesting. Ranchers raced nearly 150 cows through the streets of Concolly, Washington. What was that all about, Retro?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
This was reported 3 hours ago. Ukraine long-range strike campaign has now disabled 40% of Russian fuel refining capacity, creating a huge domestic fuel shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a kind of weird story, too. NATO policy forced a Ukrainian fighter jet which was chasing down a Russian cruise missile heading into Polish airspace and caused it to divert so that it wouldn't violate, what was that, Polish airspace. Now, why would they do that if it was chasing down a cruise missile that was obviously headed into Polish airspace?
Because it takes a chance on downing it.
I guess they were afraid it was going to down it over a populated area.
Mm-hmm. And then Polish could have mistaken it for the missile instead of the missile. and down the Ukrainian fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's because
that's
of
true.
air defense. Putin has just signed a law that effectively strips citizenship from Russians who left because of the war. Those convicted will be banned from registering property, cars, and businesses. They will lose access to the state online services, passports, marriage registration, and name changes. Bank accounts and mobile banking apps will be blocked also. They will also be denied consular and notary services abroad. Restrictions apply after court verdict enters into force and covers those accused under the most common political articles. Discrediting the army calls for sanctions, violating territorial integrity, foreign agents, and undesirable organizations. Lawyers have called it a law on the de facto deprivation of citizenship. So, if you left Russia because of the war, you have effectively got your citizenship stripped from Russia. And you were banned from registering property, cars, businesses, and also lose access to state online services, passports, marriage registration, name changes, and bank accounts. And your mobile banking apps will not work.
Oh boy. Ukraine has conducted the world's first unarmed aerial assault using drones to airdrop small drones which planted mines behind Russian lines. Warfare is becoming really crazy lately, folks.
It has.
And I was also reading a couple stories where both the US and China are currently developing massive numbers of AI operated robotic soldiers. That's pretty scary.
That video is AI that is attached to there.
You know, it's getting more and more and more difficult to know what is really true and real or not with AI videos.
Now, the
They're getting
soldier
so good,
thing,
you just can't tell.
the soldier thing is real, but the video is not. And that would be, and they're not artificially controlled soldiers. They are controlled by a human with remote control, which I find the best. They do not need to be artificially controlled. That way, the human can make the decisions.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want AI to get life and death situation or life and death decisions in its brain.
Get a lot of background noise in HF channels today. Marco Rubio in Iran. Oh my goodness. There are ships moving through the straits. There is oil moving right now through the straits. The straits are open. No, the straits are not open. As you can see on this map that I'm fixing to show you all, the straits are not open, folks. There's nothing. Look, there's nothing moving through here. It's all on anchor out here or anchored in here. There is nothing. I don't. I guess I'd like to know what planet these people are living on.
A small plane has made an emergency landing on Interstate 10 in Pensacola, Florida, after the pilot reported trouble mid-flight.
A Russian
That'd be
FPV.
pretty crazy
That would be.
to see that driving down the interstate and a plane landing right in front of you.
A Russian FPV drone operator has hunted down and hit a Ukrainian civilian selling fruit on the side of a road in Kherson City. It chased him around the van before poofed. A Russian military paratrooper jumped during Airborne Forces Day celebrations near Moscow from a very low altitude, and his parachute failed to open. Folks, he wasn't but a couple 100 feet above ground. I will post a link to this.
Ukraine is punishing Turkey for its support of Russia. A Turkish-owned cargo ship carrying fruits and vegetables to Russia was struck by a Ukrainian drone near Novorossiysk, resulting in injuries to its crew members.
The sky over Dagestan has turned black with locusts, whose huge swarms of insects has descended on the Kizlar district, devouring vegetation and all the crops. This is in Russia. They're artificially moving markets again. U.S. oil prices collapsed below $76 a barrel after U.S. Treasury Secretary says a deal with Iran could be announced tomorrow. There is not going to be no deal with Iran. And if there is a deal with Iran announced, it's going to be a very, very crappy deal to where Iran controls the inbound and outbound traffic. The straits will never be free and open like they was before.
Barclays Bank is now warning that there could be a rise in oil prices to more than $150 per barrel in the very near future.
How's that there, Matt? I turned that down some. Yep. I think we're going to go higher, Matt, once the markets quit with BS. I'm really surprised they have not figured out, the markets hasn't, that all this is just constant lies.
Well, let's see. We've been on live for more than an hour, and I kind of hear Miss P yelling for me. So I'm going to back on out.
Okay, I'm gonna stick around for a couple minutes and then I've got to back out.
Okay, I'll see you guys. Well, I won't see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's a day off.
You're not
So
gonna come in for round table tomorrow?
I'll probably show up at the round table. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, see you guys later. See you at the round table tomorrow and see you on Thursday. Y'all have a lovely next day or two. And as usual, God bless you all and God bless your families. See you then. Whoop.
Oh my goodness. He's talking about changing the red brick pavers in Lafayette Park into granite. Listen to this.
Change them into a granite, but we're very proud of Lafayette Park. Now we have a big decision to make. Do we take the pavers that are red, the red brick pavers, and do we change them into a granite, to gray granite? They're beautiful, but they're not the original. So we're gonna have to make that decision. You have a good, but we're very proud.
Why can't we just leave stuff alone? Just leave it alone. Just, no one cares. Leave the red brick pavers. Leave it alone. Japan sounds the alarm on China as it unravels the biggest rearmament since World War II. Japan has officially labeled China its greatest strategic challenge, unveiling a new vision that ties military power directly to economic growth. Tokyo is ramping up investments in missiles, drones, AI defense technology, and military manufacturing. They're saying that this is going to strengthen the nation's economy by making a stronger defense industry. The shift comes as Japan prepares for a new national security strategy aimed at deterring conflict over Taiwan. Yeah, a lot of EMs coming in. Senior Iranian official. It is unlikely that Iran will expect any other deal than what Iran has just presented to Oman about the Strait of Hormuz. Hey, folks, does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Matt, that the yen is going to be the domino that sends us into a global Great Depression. It's already starting. Yep, it's all over. Matt, I agree with you. Do, 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 do. Fox Business, the cow guy. Earnings are looking very good at the corporate level. But if you drill down to the lower 60% of incomes, things are getting very tight. We've got higher gas prices. We haven't seen groceries come down. Hey, folks, what we're going to do. U.S. Central Command says they've diverted the course of 45 ships since the reposition of the blockade. Reimposition. Let's see here. All of Republican senators on the Judiciary Committee has just voted for Trump's personal lawyer, Todd Blanche, to serve as the U.S. Attorney General. There is reports that Trump is going to make a huge announcement today at 4:30 p.m. Any questions, folks, before I end the U-boob? Yeah, from what I'm seeing, Trump will be making a announcement today at 4:30. So we'll see. See what his schedule says. No, the schedule says it's not going to be, but there's going to be a remarks tomorrow at 4:30. So we'll see. With that, folks, I am going to end the YouTube stream, and we're going to come back with just a new stream over on YouTube with some music in the background on both streams, and I have to run and go do something. So with that, folks, I really appreciate everyone for being here. We've been live for almost 2 hours. So we will see you tomorrow for the roundtable. Remember, tomorrow around noon-ish, there's going to be a roundtable. You will be finding the link in the All Call channel on Discord to the Jitsi meeting. We look forward for you being there. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow. We are ending the YouTube stream, and I'm gonna come back on YouTube with a normal stream. We've got some background music. So see you.